Eric, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Weird. Hello and good afternoon again, everyone. This is Eric Norton from Beckett Media, courtesy here of Universal Distribution. I am excited to be with Mr. Brandon Steiner. What's going on, Brandon? How are you?
Everything's good, man. I'm so happy to be part of this conference just because I've got so many cards. I've always been a big card collector, and I need cards graded. I don't know, as I was doing deals with players, I was always kind of putting some cards aside, having them signed, and then my wife, like everyone else, has been on my ass to like get these things organized and frankly get it out of the house, which I'm not quite 100% ready to do. But so I've been following a lot of things. People don't realize, like, when I started Steiner, I was a hockey collectible company. We started with the Rangers, Martin Brodeur, and then we were just doing all kinds of hockey stuff the first 2-3 years we were getting started. So there's nothing like hockey. Love hockey, and I realized that there's a lot of card distributors and card hobby people on the line, and I take my hat off to you. Keep going, because you're the ones that are telling the stories. The trading cards, and you guys, it may seem kind of trivial in some respect of trading cards and grading them, but there's such an important story that goes along with that keeps kind of the heart of the hobby going, and I think it's really important.
We were just backstage, and you were talking about being a hockey company first, and you shared a great story about. Was Claude Lemieux eating chocolate pudding out of the Stanley Cup? Was that what you said?
Yeah, what happened was we went to Detroit to go to sign Martin Brodeur, which was the obvious choice, and we ended up signing him, and we're doing all his collectibles for quite a while, but we couldn't sign him exclusively. And so at that time, we were really not, we were kind of more of a marketing. So we signed Claude. Claude was like, "You can find me work, great." And I love Claude. I mean, he's an agent now, and his son's playing for the Rangers, but. So, we're moving him around on media tours, appearances, and he goes on the Howard Stern show and he puts chocolate pudding in the cup. And he comes out of the bathroom, starts eating the pudding. It didn't go well. It didn't go well. The NHL was not happy. I don't think I've been back in their good graces ever since.
Oh, no.
But we had a lot of fun with Claude, made him a lot of money. Claude was I'll tell you one thing about Claude is really, really underrated a little bit. When you think about, won 3 Stanley Cups, Devils, Montreal, and Colorado, and was one of those guys you want him on your side of the ice, no question. Yeah. Scrappy, annoying, could score, just annoy the hell out of you. And obviously he played great defense too.
Absolutely.
For a winger.
Now, just for pure benefit of people who jumping on who might not know who Brandon Steiner is, can you tell me about Steiner Sports, how you got that started, and what you're doing now?
Well, yes, absolutely. I'm giving away this book, by the way, on my new company, Collectible Exchange. So just go on the site. And, the reason why I wanted people to go and get this book, if you have a small company, you're getting started, and you want to build a company, I really explain how I built Steiner in this book. And I will tell you, I'm not that smart. So I think if you read this book, I think you get a lot of ideas of how you could take your hobby idea or your side business and even grow it, make it bigger. I think I really try to outline everything I've done. I started Steiner in 87 and then started the collectible company in around 95 in that range with, Mark Messier was my first guy that I signed. And as I just mentioned, we sold Steiner to Omnicom. And then last year, the company got sold to another company. You guys probably know about this, Fanatics. Not to really my liking. It was a great company. But I was trying to buy the company back, and I had this great idea I've been working on for about 3 years, which is Collectible Exchange. And I just felt there was a time to stop. I probably put 30 million collectibles out in the marketplace, maybe even more. Mm-hmm. I just felt it was a time for more collaboration instead of domination. And I thought it was more of a time when we needed a better version of basically fans being able to buy from each other, clearer channels of being able to authenticate, verify, you need cards graded, and people just need more services, not necessarily just a lot more product put into the market, to be honest with you. And I don't know if people really just want one of a 5,000 balls that somebody signs or one of 10,000 pucks. I think people want proprietary stuff. So when I started Collectible Exchange, it's very customer and hobby friendly because it gives an avenue for one of the things I realized, I thought there's just so many great collectors out there that have done great stuff and they don't have a big platform to really broadcast themselves or their product. So I'm trying to figure out how to make Collectible Exchange a place where people can kind of showcase their stuff and also buy directly from players. So there's just, even if you're a small hobby person, you could be big on my platform. And I think that's really the goal of Collectible Exchange. We're Steiner. We were a little more into domination. I'm sure people have bought different autographs from us over the years. And we've had many, many hockey players on the contract. And I always had a love, and a couple guys in my office, we always loved hockey. So we certainly took our product very seriously. But now it just seems like there was just too much product getting pumped up, almost like the 90s with the trading cards, really. It's almost like too much product pumped in. And now it's a time to let kind of the hobby kind of seep back in, because most of the best ideas come from the hobby. I always had send-ins. I always try to walk as many shows. I was a big spender at a lot of shows, mainly because I was just constantly getting incredible ideas from just a small little hobby guy that, had his table and had a nice little business. But I think now is a time when more collaboration is needed. Fans expect more, and the stuff's worth a lot more. So I hope that I'm hoping to hear from you. Pick up the book, by the way. You Gotta Have Balls is a really good book. I think it would inspire you. It's not as much of a Steiner story as it is about how you build and how you can take your brand to the next level and how you can figure out. I think a lot of you, when I go and look at some of the shows and what I've been watching, like a lot of you are brilliant in your own right and could probably do a lot more than even what you're doing. And that's my goal, is to see the hobby do more and be able to spread the word and spread the knowledge more. So I'm hoping to be able to do that with the new website. I'm in my man cave, by the way. So we're going to take – I've never done this before. My wife's out in the backyard. She'll kill me if she knows this, but I don't care. At this point, 3.5 months. I mean, I'm just lucky I'm still married, to be honest with you. Sure. My dog came up to me the other day and asked me for a little more space, told me that, our relationship was getting a little too close and she needs some space and she needs some, to divide up a little bit. It's been a rough 3.5 months, but it's been fun. It's been fun because I've been able to go through my collection and sort it out. And as you'll see in a minute, my cards are nice and organized. So I'm actually getting some help. Yeah.
Very nice. Guys, I just put the link up in the chat. Go check out Collectibles Exchange and see what Brandon's working on now. But we are in his man cave. We're going to take a tour. Like he said, he's never done this before. I'm hoping to see something I've never seen before. Let's just start, Mr. Steiner. Let's go.
Okay. Well, oh boy, where do you start? So here you have, let me see if I get this on a nice tilt here. Here you have, I always love this glove. This is Mariano Rivera's shag glove.
Oh,
the one where, he busted up his knee. So I always like that because when I go see him before the game, I'd always steal this glove because he's always in a hurry to run out and shag, and he couldn't find his glove, and he'd be looking all over the place. And then I'd be up, I got that. Too bad. I'm a big ticket collector.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all my ticket stubs. Let's see this here. Sorry about that.
No worries. We're good. We are good. All right, Brandon. You're going to show us this ticket collection.
So this whole thing is filled with tickets.
Wow.
So I think there's about 3,000 or 4,000 games I've been to this wonderful long life of mine. Oh, but here's the Derek Jeter game. He was bad. Yeah, this is cool with a lot of usage on it. This is cool.
Nice. You guys had a nice relationship with Jeter. How was he? How
25 years. Yeah. So I want to show you this thing here. This is cool. I took Fazzino to his first hockey game. The art.
Yeah.
See this. This is cool. Signed by. So he did this pop art when the Rangers had won the cup. This is pretty cool. These are some of my cards here. I took out some of my cards here that I took here. These are some of the sets here.
Wow.
Crazy. And then I need help. These are just my autograph cards. So I have about 3,000 autograph cards. There's a Jeter rookie. I have some Hank Aaron cards that I signed here.
Very nice.
Kind of cool. And then I have a lot of Rangers and Messier and a lot of crazy stuff like that. This was the idea that came up with selling the dirt. I was selling all this dirt. Oh, boy, that's a mess. I got to show you this Messier game use stick. Oh yeah. Let me show you this first here. This here is cool. This is the dirt map. What I love about this item is this was the first time I was able to figure out how to sell dirt for $500. So I took a copy of every team, and kind of made this whole thing, which is cool.
Very
and then
nice.
Here's a Jeter game used base.
Nice.
In the final season. And we come up with some really cool things there. Oh, I want to show you this thing. It's kind of cool. I'm a big Stratomatic guy, by the way. Love Stratomatic.
Okay.
Anybody out there play Stratomatic? I mean, I love that game. Phenomenal. So realistic. Kill my son on that. Forget those video games. Anyway, I'm in my office one day and Mark Messier comes up and he says, I scored my 611th last night.
Wow.
I just want you to have the stick. I mean, who comes up? I said, is something else you wanted? Is something you need? He goes, no, I just wanted you to have this stick. I thought it'd be a nice gift for you for everything you've done. Who does that?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Oh, the best. And this was a stick from, remember the last game ever?
Mm-hmm.
And he gave out the red sticks. I got one. So that was cool. Love that. He's such a good dude. Love him, man. Love him. So here you have, I love this. This is a great story here. This is a letter. I went to give President Clinton a photo of Muhammad Ali at the time. I was working with Harlan Warner, and we were doing the Muhammad Ali autographs.
Nice.
So going up there to give President Clinton a picture of Muhammad Ali standing over Liston. And President Clinton said, Brandon, are you going to see Muhammad anytime? I said, of course. He goes, would you give him this letter? I said, of course. So he wrote a letter to Muhammad. That's the letter.
Right.
In the middle of writing the letter, he says, you are going to give this to Muhammad, right? I said, of course. Not. So I never made it to Muhammad, but I hate to admit that, but I didn't give it to him. These are actually some Mariano game used balls, which are kind of cool. From the final game, like Mariano came up to me. He's like, what do you do with the balls after the game? You're throwing them up in the crowd? He goes, yeah, I give it to the fans. I said, not anymore, you're not. I want those balls. I want your balls at the end of the game. And I know that sounded a little weird, but you want your balls at the end of the game. And he did. He gave them to me. He started giving me, and we were selling them, and I did keep a few of them. So that was kind of cool. What else can I show you? Oh, this is like one of my favorite things. This is my thank you letters, just from the last. Every day I try to do 2 nice things for 2 people that don't know what's coming. And
sure,
just the thank you letters that from the last 10, 12 years of the meaningful ones that people handwrite me a note, which is cool. And these are Mariano's cleats. You see these?
Yeah.
These are the last game ever at Yankee Stadium that he pitched, the last pitch ever. And these are the cleats he wore, which is kind of cool. Love that. Kind of fun. This is kind of cool. I never really knew what this is worth. But there's this upper deck set that I got a long time ago. Let me just move these cards here for a minute. So this is like an upper deck set that they produced a long time ago. It was all these Yankee greats, Babe Ruth game used pieces.
The Master Collection.
Yeah, this kind of looks cool. I haven't seen these around, but I definitely want to sell it. I got to get rid of all these cards, by the way. I have 19, the first year of the AFC. Unopened packs. I have maybe 100 packs. I have a whole set of these, but I'm very big on these. I'm very big on these big basketball cards. I collect them like crazy just because I love hoops. So it's my thing. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those cards, but I guess I'll figure it out. This is a cool piece too, by the way. We did a Yankee. Kind of cool.
Wow, that's neat.
Some letter that Hank Aaron sent me. After $300,000 I raised for his charity. I just want to show you my basketball court for all you Syracuse fans out there.
This is a little mini carrier dome coming up, guys.
Yeah, this is my court here, if you could see that.
Outstanding.
And then that's why I put a little Syracuse actions, all my Syracuse things going on.
How many shots do you take a day?
Well, today I took about 350. I try to take around 350. With the virus, with so little to do, I try to get 350, 400 shots in. I got that rebounding machine, which helps.
Yeah.
This is another cool thing that I have. I have the first set of the sport magazines, the first full set.
Oh, wow.
This guy comes in my office. He traded this to me for a Joe Montana football, forget about it. I can't even remember how many years ago. And that was kind of cool. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Absolutely.
This is how cool is this, though? I love this photo, man. When we announced Madison Square Garden Ranger Network.
Nice.
Me on the ice with Amari and Henrik Lundqvist. Had Henrik from the beginning. What a guy. What a god. What a king. Love him. It's a picture of me and Jeter, by the way, during his last season. I was really trying to talk him into selling that game used stuff from his last 5 games. Somebody had offered me a lot of money. All kinds of stuff like that. A couple game used cleats. That's Jeter's game used equipment back here. Kind of cool. But this is some of the cards I was telling you about, like that I just have no idea. Some sets here. They're in here. I don't know what to do with this stuff, man. It's crazy. Oh, boy. It's just some crazy stuff here.
I think you need to fly me up, and I'll help you figure it out.
I'd be glad to do it. I got to do something with these cards. And by the way, we're selling, you know what we're doing is, this is cool too. Just look at this. We actually made coasters with game used pieces of the grass in the dome. And we did this for all the teams. Okay. And I want to do this for hockey too. We're going to do coasters with ice, melted ice from the teams. Doing that for a team now. I'm working on this. So we're going to give this away. If you go to my LinkedIn, if you go follow me on LinkedIn and leave me a message, whoever leaves the most creative message about Syracuse is going to win this actual piece of the dome. So we took the roof off the most famous arena in the country, the Dome, Syracuse Dome, all you Syracuse fans out there, and we cut it up. If you go to my website, you'll see there's a whole product line. Now, you know I've sold grass, bricks, dirt, and now I'm selling a roof. I love it. So this is a piece from that. I mentioned I'm going to be giving this away too. And also, whoever gives me the most creative, if you go to my LinkedIn and follow me, I'm going to give away this dome. But I'm also, if you could tell me a fun Mark Messier story, since we talked about Mark, you also win an autographed puck. So I'll pick somebody out. Whoever's following me, but you got to follow me and message me on LinkedIn. I'll give away. I'm going to give away a Messier puck, and we give away books, give away a piece of the dome, and then I may give away some other stuff. So I love giving away stuff.
Nice.
And at some point, I'm going to try to get these cards organized. I need Beckett. I need their help.
I'm here for you, sir. I'm ready to do this at any time.
I think also the cards I have, like, you know, because when I used to do the deals for the players, I would just get a couple boxes of free cards or whatever, and my kids and we just open up boxes everywhere. You know, so we really don't know in some cases what we have. But I did buy some cards from the 70s and some cards from the 60s too, so that's kind of fun.
Very nice, very nice, guys. I just put his LinkedIn link in the chat here. So he just said that he's going to give away a Mark Messier autograph, and he's got a piece of the Carrier Dome that he's going to give away as well. Hit that link, follow him, leave him a message. Remember, be creative. He's going to pick a winner. And again, if you're not familiar with Mr. Steiner, he's very generous, and the giveaways that they do are amazing stuff. So you're gonna love it. Just go follow him on LinkedIn and take my suggestion and do that. Chris wants to know, sir, are you on other platforms as well? LinkedIn,
I am.
Twitter,
I do a lot of lives on Facebook. I answer everything on Facebook, but you got to like me on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all the platforms. Not bad for a 60-year-old. And I answer everything myself. I mean, I spend about 2 hours a day on my social. So when you message me, you'll be hearing from me personally. So don't hesitate if you have a question. I have no problem. I get tremendous joy in seeing other people succeed. And if your business you feel has more potential and you're trying to get it to grow and you got a question about how I've done something in the past and how maybe you could put it into play, I'm more than happy. I really feel like the Gotta Have Balls book is a book. If you're trying to grow your business, you get a lot out of it because you see how simple it is in some cases of how I was able to form some of the relationships I do. But don't hesitate if you got a question or you're thinking about expanding or growing into something. You know, I love the hobby, and I realize how hard it is to be out there grinding. And, you know, sometimes it's just one little break and everything could change. And you'll see it in the book that I wrote that on several occasions, man, I didn't think I was going to make it. I'm not going to lie. I was on the balls of my butt. And my wife was like, I think you should go get a job, which was probably enough motivation for me to tell her, look her right then and yeah, I'd say, definitely, I'm going to look for a job. Not. There's no way I want to go work. There's no way. So, you know, that really motivated me. So,
awesome. We have a few questions coming in. You okay with that?
Anything. Yeah, I'm an open book. Anything. All right.
Yeah. Shane wants to know, who's the best player you've worked with? Like maybe in terms of, I think just from watching, it would probably be Mo Rivera. But like, who's been the most helpful, the most interactive player that you've worked with? I
mean, you know, by the way, you know, he was a great player that really we love was Eric Lindros.
Really?
Eric
Okay.
would come in and sign, and he'd help you with the boxes to the car. He could have been nicer. I mean, we loved our relationship with Eric Norton. I know that was probably coming out of left field. You probably weren't expecting that.
No.
But he was amazing. I loved working with him. Another guy that I loved working with, if you watch the police academies, was Bubba Smith. Love Bubba. Was amazing. No question, Mark was probably the most influential because I learned so much about family, about relationships and leadership. I mean, obviously, I never played ice hockey. I'm a Jewish kid from Brooklyn. I mean, it was like one rink in Brooklyn.
Sure.
So I loved hockey. So we'd play on the streets with the, I was a goalie. I'd wear the couch cushions, and I was more of a goalie. And we'd play on the street. But it was really hard for us to play ice hockey because there just wasn't any ice rinks.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Glenn wants to know, which player have you not worked with that you would like to in the future?
It's a good question. I don't think there's any athlete that I've been really wanting to work with that I haven't been able to. I really wanted to get President Obama. I've been working on him for 4 years, begging. I did know a few people that knew him, figured I'd lure him in, maybe it was New York, maybe use the basketball court. I worked everything. So he was one of the guys I really wanted to work with. I thought that he should have a product line that maybe would go money to go to his library and maybe just figure out a really important cause, because I think people would want his autograph. Something like I was one of those guys that if I had something in my mind and I really wanted to work with him, I found him and I tracked him down. The guy that I really wish I could have worked with, because I know I would have been able to pick his brain, was Jackie Robinson, was another one. Mm. And Hank Aaron, by the way, just to get back to the other question, was unbelievable. Like, we've been waiting for Hank Aaron. It's like, where's Hank? He's in the car listening to the Braves playing the Mets. He's listening to the game on the radio. He goes, yeah, he's going to wait. It's like 10 minutes to the ninth inning. He was a crazy baseball fan down to the core, and also so honest. If you ever look up the YouTube interview I did with him, one of my favorite things, he goes, I said, did the stats really matter? He goes, Brandon, I followed the stats every day when I was in Little League. I knew who had more hits than me.
Wow.
I knew how many hits Willie Mays had. Every stat meant everything to me. What upsets me is only one thing. I'm a happy man. But people think I'm just a great home run here. I'm a 5-tool player. I had a great arm. Look at my total at bat, total bases, doubles, RBIs. I killed in all those categories. You got to watch the interview. He gets into it. And what I love is when players are real honest about their competitive spirit, like we saw with The Last Dance with Jordan. And you saw it with Hank Aaron. Like, he wasn't like, I just happened to hit a bunch of home runs. He was like, I knew where Mays was. I knew where this guy was. Every day I look at those box scores.
Very nice.
Love that. Very
nice. Hey, Neil wants to know any tips on how to start organizing signings and starting up a memorabilia business. I think that's where you got to have balls comes in, but correct me if I'm wrong there, Mr. Steiner.
I think it's focus. I mean, part of it's a little bit of luck, but you got to get the right player at the right time. But I think what's most important is to have the relationship with the player and come up with really creative and unusual product. You need a little bit of upfront money, but now in these days, which is different from when I started, you have to have your SEO together. Because at the end of the day, if you wanted to go sign player X, if you can go and figure out from digital marketing, SEO, and everything else, how to go find every one of those players' fans and come up with a dynamic, unusual product, that's the name of the game. Know who your customer is, come up with incredibly creative product, and attack that customer with incredible creative product that the customer's interested in. One of the biggest misses that I think I made, and we've all made, is just going to customers with blah, 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 instead of going to stuff that you're interested. Like, people come to me, if you come to me with something with Syracuse, I'm all in. You come to me with something about my kids, I'm all in. Even though you're going to sell me Red Sox stuff, start with the fact that you got something for my kids.
Sure.
So I think now with you can't manage what you can't measure. So when you want to get started, get into the management and the measuring and your ability to focus once you get that player on who that customer base for that player is. Now, remember, that player grew up somewhere. He or she played high school. They played minor league, and you've got to nail all those customer bases down one at a time. And when you do that successfully with that formula, you could be well on your way to have a successful concept, and then you go from there.
Awesome. That's great advice, Brandon. We got a great question here, and we're going to end on this one. How are you keeping your company afloat during this difficult time? And how big of a hit do you think this will be on the in-person signings with memorabilia shows?
Well, what I do is I go over a bridge regularly and contemplate jumping. That was like the first month. I'm like, if I jump, am I definitely going to die because I don't want to break bones and then they're going to be in the hospital? But, it was scary. I mean, and I always say, take action over anxiety, getting all crazy, whatever. If you're confident in your ability and confident in your strategy, your product, you have no reason to be upset. What's crazy about the collectible exchange is I really thought maybe this was going to be my time and I'd do something else because, I mean, I just started in December. But what happened when everybody went home? Their wives got on them. They started selling stuff.
Yeah.
So
Right.
every day I'm getting clobbered with hundreds and hundreds of requests to put their stuff up. We have over 60,000 items on Collectible Exchange. It's insane. So I went from looking at the bridge, thinking all of a sudden, I'm saying, wow, this is a miraculous comeback. This is like being down 3-0 in the playoffs. I mean, I'm thinking that kind of comeback. Like my wife was looking at me like, you're crazy. I mean, it's just been crazy. My office is packed with stuff. And what I'm grateful for is it's not my ideas. I'm supporting the hobby. I'm getting into people's creations, not just mine, which I did for many, many years. And I'm very grateful that people like the product. We always take our hits about whether we were too expensive and everything, but I love the fact that now I'm getting beyond other people's stuff. So everything I'm doing now at Collectible Exchange is promoting other people's stuff. I go on TV and I'm doing this show, Man Cave Millionaire, which you can get on YouTube, and people mail in the videos of their products. I'm promoting everybody else's stuff. Because to me, really the legacy here, I hope one day, is just how do we build this hobby bigger? Because it's fun. Why wouldn't more people be into it? And I think that's the one I try to empower everybody that's watching is like, regardless of how small, big your company is, how are you making the business better, bigger, and helping each other? Because all of us are better than some of us. And there's some people, you come into the hobby just taking advantage of the hobby. But when I see these creative breaks, love that. Like, that's excitement. That's like, wow. I mean, that you can't help but watching whether you're in the break or not, because you got a chance to win and you get to tell the story. So, if you're out there and you're advancing the hobby, thank you. And if I can help you in any way, please reach out to me. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be in the hobby. I never take it for granted because there are a lot of other things people could do with their money. So the fact that we've turned this hobby into an industry and that we got so many people excited about different aspects of it is a blessing. And believe me, if I had to go get a job for real, it would be a real problem. So thank God I didn't do that back in the day.
That's awesome.
Anybody want to come and play some hoops with me when this thing calms down? Better bring your defense with you because I'm shooting a lot of shots, man.
That's an open invitation to hoop up Brandon Steiner and his Syracuse gym. Now, one last thing, and then we are going to wrap it up on this. Glenn checks back in and says, I miss your store in Roosevelt Field. I was there a lot. Ron is the best. Do you plan on opening some sort of store again here in New York?
It's a great question. And Ron is the best. And there's probably, I bought that store. You know why? Because the guy owed me so much money. I figured I had no idea what I was doing with that store. He owed me so much money. I figured I might as well own it. And it ended up being one of the best things we did. And then, I had that store for almost 28 years. I think Ron was probably by far the best manager we had. We're looking at a couple different opportunities. It wouldn't be traditionally in a mall like that, given the mall business the way it is. We are looking at some other opportunities because remember, I want to sell other people's stuff. So if I opened up a store, it would be filled with consignment from all kinds of other people.
Okay.
I'm selling everyone else's stuff. And I really want to take some of the great collectors out there that have created much better product than maybe I've ever created and bring it to the forefront. And I think if I did a store, it would probably be in Manhattan and it would showcase all these other people's stuff that you can come in. And because I think it's just crazy when you go in a store one day and then the next day it's completely different. And that's how I feel like my site is. And that's how I feel like the collector's mindset is. That isn't worrying about 50 other athletes to worry about. They're just coming up with that next one best idea.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for Mr. Steiner and myself. Thanks so much, sir, for hopping on here. I really appreciate it. The tour was great. It's amazing. And I'm serious. If you need some help with those cards, just let me know. I'm on your way.
Dude, I need you, man. Let's this conversation end here, man. I'm going to need your help. So let's keep in touch and let's make sure we connect. Because my wife will probably pay you to come. There's no question. She wants to come out, yeah.
Very nice. You just throw in some New York style pizza, and I'm there. It's not even.
I got you a couple of Yankee tickets. Let's hope the baseball season starts. How great is hockey right now, huh?
Yeah.
Getting their act together. This is gonna be a big boost for them.
It absolutely is. All right, guys, that's it for Mr. Steiner and myself. Thank you so much, guys. This is a lot of fun. Hey, Steve Grad and I are coming back right here in about 25 minutes. We're going to be back right here on this platform. Don't miss that. Mr. Steiner, thank you, guys. Good night and good day.